But there was actually one really, really, really good thing that just happened. So we've got a graphic of people filling the streets in Santiago to celebrate this victory in the election there, as like a socialist dude with a beard and all that. I enjoy the representational politics angle here. The man kind of looks like he could have just left a DSA meeting in Brooklyn.
It's about time. Yeah, it is interesting that because it very much is that it's literally is that this guy. And I think the most interesting, for better or worse, aspect of this is this guy really does come out of sort of the 2011 Occupy era. Like he was involved in the student movement, which I assume Chile is probably easier for working class people to go to college, so they have a bit of more of a
at a point, and then the part of the big protest that he kind of came out of was because of they were raising tuition as well as bus fare. So at one point it kind of was.
Yeah, but it's interesting how that model, this sort of anarcho-liberalism, as some describe it, has turned to this, and he describes himself as a libertarian socialist. We'll see what that actually means, but he does have a really strong coalition behind him. There's the Communist Party, and they have the ability now to rewrite the Constitution. So it's who knows what's gonna happen.
I think,
but
hasn't been rewritten since Pinochet, if I remember.
That's
correctly.
right. Yeah.
It's the Constitution of Liberty. He called it, because it was, which is actually a reference to a book by Hayek. Since those all of those libertarian ghouls were so influential in shaping the Pinochet regime.
So they're gonna rename it the Road to Serfdom, or the Serfdom.
Serfdom. The Constitution of Serfdom now. Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
I was gonna say, how do you guys see it compared to someone like I'm know very little about this, but compared to someone like AMLO coming in, right? Does this look like a different kind of coalition of parties or power constituencies? Is there better reason to believe that he's really going to be able to really kill neoliberalism?
My understanding is it's not really the coalition that'll be the big obstacle. It's the fact that Parliament in Chile is pretty evenly divided now, because they were on kind of a had some leftward momentum in the past couple of years, but in their by-elections they elected a lot of conservative, moderate parties. So that'll be difficult to overcome. But I think the coalition itself is from the sort of social democrat to communist spectrum.
Yeah, I mean the coalition's probably better than AMLO. AMLO actually had to ally with some kind of it's like a relatively small part of it, but some kind of right populist types to get to make that work. But also,
and AMLO's always just slammed for it by certain leftists in the States.
Yeah. I should also say that I don't I mean, AMLO has, there are cases where AMLO has done bad things and been disappointed, but especially on immigration. But I do want to have a little bit of a sense of perspective here, because, I did an episode with Kurt Hochbath where he just kind of I think we put this, I don't know if we put this out as a clip, or just just put this out as a Twitter video, but there's this 2-minute segment of that interview where Kurt just rattles off all the shit that they put through since AMLO was elected. And it's a pretty impressive list. Once you put it all together, I mean, it's all incremental stuff, but there's a lot of it. Ranging from, taking away the DEA's carte blanche to do whatever they want in Mexico, which is actually pretty huge. No 2021, season of Narcos Mexico, right? To just stuff that's pretty basic but is huge for Mexico, actually having financial assistance for poor kids to go to college in a way that never really existed there. So I actually think there were quite a few legislative accomplishments, but also this, I mean, this guy does seem, way to the left of AMLO, at least in his like ideological branding. So, initially, but to Andrew's point about the ideological division, do we have the Daniel Pipes tweet? Yeah, there we go. So Daniel Pipes tweets, my sympathies go to the 45% of Chileans who voted against the left-wing extremist Gabriel Boric, just elected as Chile's next president. Chile has gone down this road before in 1970 to 73, and it ended very badly. And then he says some shit about Venezuela. The specific way that it ended badly was that, Nixon and Kissinger, helped to orchestrate this coup to overthrow him, by Pinochet and the other generals to overthrow Chilean democracy and start this decades-long reign of terror against leftists and union organizers in Chile. Disappeared tons of people. Did that would dangle people out of helicopters and all of that stuff. So I mean, like this, this is a cute tweet, right? Like, oh yeah, no, it ended badly. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's we don't need to get into the details. Bad things happen. Just don't do it again, or else more bad things might happen. But I do want to end the post game on the single thing that I've seen. I think this is the other tweet that we have. This is the single thought that has made me smile the most in the last couple days. This guy is the @Cato of Utica tweets, Henry Kissinger lived just long enough to see a socialist take power in Chile again. And man, even if this is the most disappointing administration of all time, it can't get through anything, like, that alone, it seems to me, is worth celebrating.
Yeah, I hope and I don't say this lightly about many people, but I hope Kissinger dies now before any of that stuff happens. But yeah, I think there is, especially contrasted with Allende, there is some reason for optimism. If you just look at all the obstacles that the left in Chile faced in 1973, even leaving aside the CIA, the military was, lunatic far right, major factions in the military, and people say, well, Allende should have had the working class take up arms and beat the military. They had very strict gun control. Like, they were inspecting factories, seizing guns, making sure that couldn't happen, and like capital strikes, all this stuff. And even with that, he managed to pass through some really transformative measures. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it's always easy. Like, look, I mean, obviously that would be the best case scenario if he was able to, to arm the workers and resist the coup successfully. But like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is like a much more extreme, higher stakes version of the discussion about the squad earlier, right? It's like always very easy for people in living in relative comfort in the United States in 2021 to like Monday night quarterback what civil wars other people should have started. But yes, I mean, to what you're talking about, I mean, if you read Christopher Hitchens' book about Kissinger, he talks about these, like, it has like transcripts like of meetings where Kissinger was directly involved in these well documented discussions with like Chilean paramilitaries to try to, before the actual successful coup to take out Allende, where to try to like kidnap and kill this one specific Chilean general who was not even a socialist, but like was just somebody who they kind of knew wouldn't go along with the coup effort because he was like a constitutionalist. It's like, all right, so like we definitely have to kill this guy, if this is gonna happen, like this is yeah. I mean, trying to like the obstacles faced there are just like incomprehensible, and yeah, I mean, it's always easy to like fight to the hypothetical last drop of somebody else's blood. I don't know what the right solution was, or like tactically for Salvador Allende in 1973, or if there was one, but I'm certainly not going to,
Yeah.
pretend that I have that to dish out. You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights, all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.